Good morning. Welcome to Wake Up Real Estate. Oh man, those are some kind of glasses. Are those rubies or?
I have no idea how they got here. Shell, whose glasses are these? I just saw them as you grabbed your phone. I said I need to pick something up.
Oh boy.
They're my wife's glasses.
Welcome to the show. It's Tuesday, which means it's Texting Tuesday. It's April something or other, 25th, episode 57. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, smash the bell, all that fun stuff. It's Texting Tuesday, but I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag here. I'm like re-airing last week's. It worked so well. I'm sending it to more people in my database this week with a slight tweak, and I probably shouldn't even tweak it, but I guess I got to create some kind of different content, right? So we'll share that. Ryan already got the short version of this out today, the digest.
Check your email.
This.
Yep.
So you can check that out on the channel. And we've got good stuff we'll dig into here live for those that like to join us there. Mike, good morning. George, good morning. I'm going to start with a win because I think I mentioned this yesterday that I had put together and submitted several offers. We lost on one. It was close. It was close. If we could have waived our appraisal contingency, we would have gotten it. My clients just weren't in a position to do that. But I won on the other. And thrilled about that one. Our mortgage team is helping the borrowers, and I'm helping them. I'm actually repping them because they're like personal friends. They're personally in my sphere of influence. Otherwise, I probably would have had Cosette help them out. That's our normal protocol. We continue to get some great referrals from agents like you who check out the show and agents that have known us. So we're greatly, grateful for that and greatly appreciate that with all of you. Ryan, let's get the ball rolling. Let's get the party going.
All right, yeah. So mortgage rates down 0.07 from yesterday, just sitting at 6.59 for the 30-year fixed. Right so on. Not a lot of change there. Social post of the day, Josh, you sent me this. I thought it was a pretty good article. You want to talk about it?
Yeah. So we talked about last week, National Real Estate Post had put out a video and a petition against this change with LLPAs, which are just it's just the way they do pricing basically for mortgages, credit score and down payment. It's like a big grid, right? And on the surface, it seemed like higher credit score, higher down payment were being punished, quote unquote. And the reality is, after doing a lot more digging and after people actually, looking at the reality and not simply,
the headline.
Right. Yeah.
The politically charged headline.
Yeah. Exactly. The reality is higher credit, higher down payment, you're still getting you're getting a better rate and you're getting lower fees than if you have lower credit and lower down payment. Now, it may not be as good. In other words, the spread of difference between that now versus 3-6 months ago may not still be as good, but it's not like if you have higher credit and more down payment, you're going to get a higher rate and more fees than lower.
So right? I got to pay my credit cards this month?
I think you still should probably. I think you still should. Now, Why is this important? Or what do you do with this information? Well, number one, you can communicate it to your, on your social channels in some form or fashion. And even if people don't fully understand what you're communicating, which quite honestly, like I don't understand it like, the super experts do. I just know that I can look at this grid and say, okay, I can see in black and white here that you're still in better shape if you've got a 740 and 20% down versus if you've got a 660 and 10% down. You're still going to be, less fees, lower rate, etc. That said, you may get people that are like, I don't know what any of this means, or this is confusing to me. That's good. That's an opportunity to have a conversation. Yeah. Right. So any conversations are good. Now, well, maybe not people blistering you because of you sharing your political opinions, but generally speaking, any type of conversation starting social post or text message or email, etc., is good. It all starts with a conversation, right? We all want to have real estate related conversations, right? Like, when I'll just let you, I mean, I'm always transparent here. I'm not feeling the greatest. I'm going to head to patient first, which is like a quick after this. And actually earlier, I ran and got some stuff because I'm trying home remedies and stuff. I won't even get into the details, but anyway.
Don't get into the details.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into the details.
That's why I started laughing.
I was at the grocery store. Like, I would have welcomed conversations at the grocery store, even though I'm not feeling great. If somebody said, oh, if I saw somebody I knew there, and they were asking about real estate, like, I would welcome that. In fact, I had that happen. I don't know. I saw one of the bazillion sporting events. I was at kids sporting events I was at this weekend, right? And so we want those conversations, and you can strategically orchestrate more of them with content and knowledge and in some cases, things that are a little controversial. You don't want to be the controversy, right? But you can be the one making people aware of the controversial topic, whatever.
And if you know something is out there in the ether and it's being talked about a lot, you might as well leverage it a little. And that's kind of what sharing this is about.
Yeah. Exactly. And here's we actually talked about this on our mortgage team huddle yesterday, and a simple workaround, which may not always be simple, and I'll explain why, but FHA pricing is drastically improved. So if your client, even though they may be like well positioned for a conventional mortgage, I would still price out FHA because they may save a ton on rate and fee. Now, the problem is in many areas, if it's multiple offers, the conventional financing contingency is going to be favored over the FHA. So you got to weigh all things.
The listing agent is going to look more favorably on a conventional. Now you can put the contingency as conventional and go ahead and get the FHA.
Exactly. So there are certain workarounds and so forth. And somebody asked about what about PMI? Well, I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Do you mean PMI on the FHA or PMI on conventional? Either way, there is mortgage insurance on either of those products, depending on the amount down. And the PMI now on FHA, and they even have different terms. They don't call them exactly the same thing. Anyway, it's lesser now. It's less costly now because of changes. So just something to be aware of and to know. And one possible workaround, Ryan gave a workaround. Do the FHA, or I'm sorry, do the conventional, but do the FHA. Just go to the FHA route, which you could get into. Get into hot water there potentially. But if you know that your clients are going to address any FHA issues that come up on the appraisal / inspection, it's not a big deal. Anyway, you could also get them fully underwritten and pre-approved, which could look better than a conventional approval, right? Hey, my clients, they're fully underwritten, pre-approved, etc. And all we need is a property of which this is it. So there are workarounds to that. And if you want to get into the nitty gritty on some of that, we're happy to chat, myself or one of our sort of specialists on the team. Enough about that.
Cool. Yeah, same featured mortgage programs yesterday. Just reminding you guys, the self-employed borrower stuff is pretty cool. So check that out on the site.
Yeah, there was one thing I wanted to focus on. I have not been myself for about the last 48 hours, so I haven't been as
on it.
Yeah, I'm generally pretty productive and prodigious. I don't know. I usually put out a lot of content, and I had intended to put out a couple more shorts. There was one in particular that I wanted to highlight here, but it's escaping me. But the P&L one. Oh, so this is a great story. So Kyle Noe in Oklahoma, I got a call from one of his past clients yesterday It was a great referral from Kyle. They are looking to move to Florida, and based upon they are self-employed, and I'm not going to say his name, so I'll just give the full scenario here. They're self-employed, but they haven't filed their tax returns for a couple of years, so they're behind on that. But they've got great credit, they've got verifiable assets. They have a professional that keeps their P&L. So a P&L or a bank statement program is definitely going to work for them. And Vaughn on our team, who's kind of our specialist for those types of scenarios, is already working with them to get that going, right? So they definitely don't fit in like the nice little traditional box, but that's okay. We've got lots of options, and that P&L program is one in that scenario that I don't know that that's the one that they're going to go with, but it'll be something like that, a P&L program or a bank statement program.
And realtors could use that program too if it's
absolutely
if you have tax issues or whatever, but you can prove that you've got gross P&L going on. We're going to be talking more about taxes soon too. Josh and I have been engaging with a guy who specializes in real estate, so we're going to be sharing more about that.
Yeah, we should definitely have him as a guest.
We'll have him
either on the show or on a separate sort of standalone session here coming soon.
Yeah. I just mentioned real quick. I was talking about this bar last week. It's not driving a ton of traffic, but I'm also not getting a ton of traffic, Josh, to my site just by the nature of what I'm up to. But it is kind of tidy here up at the top. Oh, I'm not sharing. Up at the top right here, this yellow.
So I want to test on mine the down payment one, because that got from my weekly email and so forth. That got some significant engagement and so forth.
Well, I'll tweak your bar. I think I did put it on your site if I'm remembering right. But what I'm doing is I'm launching it over to this offer wall, which we all have access to now. Yeah. So that's actually in the members area. I don't think I mentioned this. If you want like a page, and it basically just has all your links to these special programs, your unique links, and you drive traffic to it. But Josh, it would be very easy. I'll just take yours and I'll swap out the offer wall and just put the down payment.
Well, I didn't even realize. I know that now that you're saying it, I do remember you saying it before that it was going to the offer wall and that you had built that. Do you have any sense of the amount of traffic that has even hit that?
A few clicks here and there. Yeah. On your site, I looked this morning, maybe like 2 clicks. But you're also not I mean, what do you have? Like 20 visitors a day, 30 visitors a day?
I don't know. I get a lot of property views. Is this popping on the?
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
We'll have to.
I do get a lot of activity property view wise. I think I do anyway.
We need to talk a little bit more about analytics. We talked about just a little bit, but I think that's maybe a Tech Tip Thursday type thing. Because I can track it here. Yeah, we're getting traffic to those pages. Here's you right here. It's probably me just now. John at Excel say so. Some of you guys are driving traffic to these. Again, it's not always about generating the lead direct, but planting the seed.
Yeah.
That these programs exist and that you're the kind of source of the info.
And the nature of what we do is that you'll generate a lot of business that it's difficult to know exactly, how it came about. In other words, you may not know that they saw a retargeting ad and they saw your email and they saw that banner bar. They maybe even clicked to it. They got a little curious or whatever. And then they text you. And, they're not going to share that whole, they may not even remember that they saw this and this and this.
No, you'll be out showing houses to somebody. You made them 3 times. Then they're going to be like, oh, what about that down payment mortgage that I saw on your site? You're like, I didn't know.
Yeah, you didn't even bring it up. And I think it's good practice to try and uncover, what was the reason, what was the thing that prompted you. But even when they answer that, there could have also been 5 things prior to that.
Yeah.
That created a pile of evidence as to why they should call or text you when the time is right.
And just a little bit of shameless plug. That's what the Reno system is about. It's about doing all these different things that might seem confusing when you watch Josh and I just pulling from all these different areas, but you can systematize the whole thing and build it out in strategic pieces. So, all right. Enough shameless plugging. Daily motivation.
Yeah, just get started.
Yeah.
Just get started.
And then maybe finish.
Yeah, well, that yes, 100%, right? An analogy I shared last week or the week before about building bridges, right? Build a bridge all the way, right? If you're trying to get from here to here in your business, and you start a project, you start building out the Renos framework, build that thing, start, and then build it, see it all the way through to the other side before you go do something else. You can have, you could have multiple Renos frameworks or niches or pillars going in your business, but don't try and build them all at once, or don't try and build one more than one at once, one at a time to completion, so that it's systematically creating opportunities for you on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Opportunities being conversations and appointments, because that's how we get more clients.
Charlotte's asking, are we using any other site to create your Facebook ads? Not sure what you mean, like a third-party service? Or, but we create all our own ads.
Do you mean, are we using something to create the Facebook ads, or are we using other platforms besides Facebook ads? I'm curious to know, Charlotte, if you can confirm that. That would be great.
But yeah, I personally just build them in the dashboard. I know that there are some solutions out there that'll.
Yeah, Street Text is one that I've used and recommended for years. You can get a free trial, and we've got a bunch of bonuses that you get when you use my affiliate link. growwithjosh.com/ST. growwithjosh.com/ST. Charlotte, like walled garden, I have no idea what that is.
It must be a service. And we're also, if you look at the caffeinated offer, we are.
Hold on. Yeah. Scroll back up to Mike. We got to see Mike.
Is there a problem?
No. You skipped right over the best part of this page. That right there.
Nobody who's ever seen Mike Smith. That's his actual photo. That's what he looks like.
Sorry. Anyway, continue. Yeah.
Well, I was going to mention along these lines, we are, because we had some questions, we are including some pay-per-click Facebook ad management with the higher level plans at Caffeinated. So
yeah, exactly.
Because it can get a little sticky and complicated, and we realize people like to hire that out. So.
Yeah, I mean, the Facebook ad manager platform can be a confusing labyrinth of just buttons.
Kind of like going to a casino and you can lose your money fast, especially if you forget your.
There's that too, or you can't. Well, the other analogy with that is you can't find the entrance to the casino, because you can't ever get it to actually go live. Because we've had clients that have struggled with that as well.
This generic Pinellas Point campaign I mentioned yesterday, it started at like $10 a lead, but it's averaging down to the $4 range. So that's just a quick update there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great. I think yesterday you said it was around the 6. Yeah, Caffeinated, Charlie, is our group coaching and Renos implementation platform. And if you go to wakeup.realestate, there's a tab that just says Caffeinated, or maybe it says Get Caffeinated, something like that. Just click on that and you'll see a walkthrough of what's included, why it exists, what we're doing with that. And there are multiple options as far as, membership goes. And cool. It's still new. So we're still in the launch phase of that.
I added some more videos today. We've had our first few group sessions. We had one yesterday again. So
I'm going to tie something that I had in my notes from yesterday's group session. Actually, that popped up from yesterday. So yesterday's group session was automated, like your automated initial follow-up when you bring a new lead into your pipeline. And for quite a while, I've been doing 2 texts when a lead comes in. And I realized yesterday that because of some of the changes they made to the texting, that doesn't work anymore. It won't send the second one.
So it doesn't make any sense?
Unless, yes. Well, it still kind of makes sense, but it makes less sense. So I need to fix that. But basically, you can't send 2 unresponded outbound texts in the same 24 hours.
Right.
So if they reply, then you can send more. But if you send one, the way my smart campaign, like my current best practice,
you should specify this is kvCore. Not everybody does.
Yes, I'm sorry. This is kvCore. So the way it was set up is somebody opts in for my Central PA price reduced list, they would get a text 2 minutes after they opt in, and then another 5 minutes later, they would get another text.
I'm gonna go kick a dog.
Yep. PETA, please. He's not serious. He's not actually going to do that.
I would never kick that dog. He would fly very far.
It would send, and it would almost like a texting double tap. Well, it won't work anymore unless they reply to the first one before the second one is scheduled to go. So I need to make a change to that. And I wanted everybody, power users of kvCore, you should be aware of that, because it's something that I have shared previously because it's been working. And honestly, it's in some of that. You don't need to change all of it, George.
Just the first touch.
It's the only time that I've ever done it in a smart campaign is when they originally, like the day they opt in, we have a 2, we're sending 2. So I'm just going to change that to 1, and I might tweak. Both of them have an expectation of response, right? But it may end up that we're tweaking the first one, which actually was one of the big takeaways from our caffeinated group coaching session yesterday. Is that initial text message is one that is worth testing and optimizing to get as many initial replies as possible.
Yeah, Charlotte, the note was about imports. So if you import leads into kvCore right now, you can't text them, right, without a specific opt-in trail, which makes a lot of sense, honestly, because you don't want to spam people.
But that's different than what I said. What I'm saying is they also have, whether it is a smart campaign or you just doing a bulk text action, you can't send to the same contact twice in a 24 hours without them responding. So if they respond, you're fine. But if you wanted to do like the Texting Tuesday script now, and then you try to send it to the same person at 5, it won't send it, which is actually, that makes sense. Like, I don't know that it's a limitation as much as it's respecting the person's texting inbox. All right. So along the lines of texting, right before the show, I pulled a list. Last week, I filtered active buyer leads.
Okay.
And I sent the message, hey, Ryan, are you open-minded? And then in parentheses, and available to check out some houses this weekend. Let me know. Thanks, Josh. Later in the week, I sent a variation to the active seller leads. Hey, Ryan, would you consider selling your property at blank address this spring to one of our clients? Unbelievable, like loads of engagement, numerous appointments already, numerous possible clients. And instead of like just totally pivoting and doing something different, like do more of what works, right? Run plays that work. Football. Football teams, if they run a play and it works, like they're gonna run it again. Maybe
sometimes
not
the next series.
Yeah. Right. Sometimes the very next play.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So find plays that work and run them more often. This play worked. Now, I'm not going to send it to the same people. I'm sending it to a different filter or segment. And I sent it to about 500 right before going on here. I've already got a ton of replies. I did tweak it slightly, which probably I shouldn't have, but whatever. Just in the interest of giving all of you here different ways that you can do it, I just shortened it. Actually, no, I didn't. I just changed open-minded to interested. Morning, Gina. Are you interested, parentheses, and available to check out some houses this weekend? Let me know. I've got a bunch of no's. I got one that said, no, we're sick. I got one that said where they're looking, and it's outside of my service area. But you better believe we're going to try and get their mortgage business and then refer them. Someone said, I actually forwarded your website to a friend. I got some stops. And then I got somebody that said, what do you mean? Well, that's easy enough. And actually, yeah, I wonder who this client is. So let's see here. or this client is. So this person, so she's confused. I don't know how she ended up getting this. This is an agent that's in my kvCore. So that's why she was confused. But what happens is it allows you to just, like we said with the sharing of the article earlier, it's just a conversation up. This is somebody that replied that had called me about buying, she's looking for multifamily properties. I hadn't talked to her in weeks. It gives me a chance to reconnect with her and see if we can put a deal together. So lots of replies already to that. A whole bunch of stops and unsubscribes, which is good too, cleaning out the database. But at least from just in just 27 minutes or 30 minutes, because I did this literally right before we went on, a significant amount of interest. So run plays that work and run them more often. Run plays that work and run them more often. And here's what I'd like. I wish more people had sent last week's. And the reason why I know more people didn't is because we would have heard from it. It works so good. You would have gotten lots of replies, but you can do it anytime. You can run that one anytime. Would you like to check? And you could, because you can spin that, the idea numerous different times, right? Yeah. You could do it. You could say, hey, we're checking out some new construction homes in blank area on Friday. Would you like to come join us?
Yeah.
Right. So you can have it be open to, hey, you want to check out some houses this weekend? Or you could say more specifically, my buyer specialist and I are going to be previewing some homes in blank area. Would you like to preview them with us? Any number of ways that you can spin that up and get loads of response.
All right.
Where can I read that kvCore announcements?
I don't know. Somebody sent it to me as a screenshot.
Yeah.
See if I can dig that up.
Yeah, and the knowledge base. It just, so here's what it is. If you import a list for sale by owners, expired, or just cold data, you're not going to be able to blast text them, broadcast text message to them. If you generate them through a Facebook ad or like a property boost, like their built-in lead generation services, Google ad, right? You can still do it through all of that. In our continued effort to improve text message deliverability rates, updates to text messaging bulk lead imports will soon take effect. This means that the mass text or smart campaign SMS text actions will not be sent until the contact has opted into receiving text messages from the agent. So they have to do something actively to opt in to receive the message.
Any inbound text message from a contact constitutes an opt-in. That's interesting. You can send an email that says, hey, I've created a free report about XYZ, text to get it now. Like, there might be some hacks to get those people engaged, but it's probably a lot of work. I mean, I would probably lean toward just focusing on email and retargeting to engage those people.
Yeah. We've kind of, I'm just seeing the scroll at the bottom. Anyway, I've kind of been of the belief for years, and I've even broken this rule, but I've kind of been of the belief for years, like kvCore or whatever your actual CRM, like your real contact management, like it should be for engaged folks. You shouldn't just be dumping in a bunch of data. It should be people that have taken some action that indicates they're interested on some level in getting communications with you about real estate in some way, shape, or form.
I shouldn't buy a list of every realtor in the country and spam them my EXP link?
Probably.
I'm going to go do that now.
Now, I say that, but I have broken that rule with for sale by owners. More, and we've done it a little bit with expireds, but it doesn't work. That's the thing. Like, we've never gotten it works. I have gotten listings from texting for sale by owners in kvCore, but in those cases, the way we were getting them, it was pretty much a manually add. We would manually add the FSBO and then
and it was relevant to them at the time.
Yes.
Now, if you do want to spam, we should have a separate session. Don't use your main CRM. Use third-party services to spam and get them into your CRM. There's a little bit of an art to that. So you can send the text out, but have them engage in your kid.
Okay, let me give a more
I mean,
appropriate cold outbound.
Cold. If you're gonna do cold outbound marketing.
Yeah, outbound marketing. Now, Ryan's laughing, but you know, the guy that I haven't mentioned in a while, the guy that I have a man crush on, Alex Hormozy, most of his businesses, the way they scale is through cold outbound lead generation or demand generation, they call it, right? So there is a way to do that in an appropriate legal compliant way. But for most of you on here, it's not relevant at this point in your businesses. There are better, more efficient and effective ways to grow your database, to get more or create more conversation opportunities, and to create more appointments for sure.
Okay.
Sham may be even listening here. Sham just texted me. I need to talk to you a couple of minutes about a bank statement loan. My man. Sham works with a lot of investors in Ohio. So I will give you
guys,
a buzz on my way to Patient First, Sham. Which is
good luck with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, I'll close it out. Calls to action. We got the caffeinated thing if you want to build these systems, and we got our co-marketing. Both of these things help fund what Josh and I are doing. Of course, this is the business model. We're selling something here. So caffeinated. And if you have mortgages, give our team a shot. So far, I'm impressed, Josh. I came onto the team a little after you were on, and I actually was a little skeptical. Like, choosing a mortgage partner is pretty good. I did a mortgage with the team myself. I've watched a bunch of other people refer leads, and it's been smooth. Like,
we're not perfect.
No
Nobody
drama.
is, right? Yeah. Like, we still have hiccups and hurdles and so forth. But yeah, I mean,
good team.
We're doing some cool stuff. We've got some great LOs with specialized knowledge around certain products and so forth. And Jordan is just a guideline ninja. I mean, if that guy is, I mean, he is a wizard when it comes to how to navigate guidelines in an advantageous way for the clients.
To find the right pricing and the right program for the client. So give us a shot, and thanks for watching, right?
We'll see you tomorrow.
All right. See you guys.